What's up, YouTube? What's up, Raider Nation? Now, as you guys all know, I dedicate my channel talking about two teams that I love: the Los Angeles Lakers and the Oakland Raiders. Now, with the upcoming NFL season approaching, I wanted to push more Raider content out there. And I created this series basically talking about the Raiders matchups from Week 1 to Week 17. Now, as you all know, the Raiders gave the fan base, huge reason to be optimistic. With their 7-9 record, last year, and their huge, offseason in terms of what they did free agency and through the draft, it gave the Raider Nation more reason to be optimistic. Now, basically, I want to talk about Week 1. Week 1, we're playing against the New Orleans Saints, team that finished 7-9, and basically, I want to talk about some of their players. Drew Brees, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, if you ask me. And, New Orleans Saints were one of the best teams several years back, NFL champs, team, being led by Drew Brees and Sean Payton. And if you ask me, even at 37, Drew Brees is one of the best quarterbacks. Finished with 4,800 yards, 32 touchdowns, and is still able to get it done at 37. Now, their running back corps is nothing too special. They have guys like Mark Ingram, Tim Hightower, C.J. Spiller, and their wide receiver corps and their tight end were pretty impressive. And anytime you have guys like Brandon Cooks, Willie Snead, Marcus Colston, and Benjamin Watson, you're gonna get the job done offensively. And that's what Drew Brees did. He threaded the needle so much, and he ended up finishing the season with 4,800 yards. And this is one of the teams offensively that was one of the best. Offensively, they were first in passing the ball, nothing too special. Bringing the ball at 24th, and overall they're a really good team offensively. If you stop me right there and you ask me, so why did the team go 7-9? And that's because of their defensive struggles. They're 31st in defensive passing, 31st in rushing or their run stop defense, 25th in attacking the quarterbacks and accumulating sacks. And they have some key defensive pieces, guys like Cameron Jordan, which is one of the better defensive ends in this league. Kenny Vaccaro, guys like Jarvis Bird. But overall, they don't have enough talent to win games defensively. Now this offseason, they added veteran guys like James Leonidas, guys like Nick Fairley, guys like Roman Harper, and they drafted guys like Sheldon Rankins, guys like Von Bell, which is gonna help out their secondary. It's gonna help out their front seven, and it's gonna help out their defense. And I do think their defense is gonna improve. But then again, it's easy for me to say a team's defense is going to improve when they finish 31st in the league. I mean, I think at that point you had nothing to do but improve. And it's not me talking smack about another fan base. It's just me stating facts. And same for for the Raiders. Raiders one of the worst teams. They had one of the worst secondaries in the league. They couldn't run the ball. I mean, they had Latavius Murray, but overall their run game wasn't that good. And but if you ask me, I think the Raiders are going to be able to pull off the win in Week 1. Raiders don't have a good history of beating teams on the road, or even teams teams that are at the East Coast. But being Week 1, I don't think it's gonna matter. I think the Raiders are more equipped defensively to stop someone like Drew Brees, and the New Orleans Saints are equipped to handle somebody like Derek Carr. If you ask me, I mean, we should have no problem in handling their run game, especially since they finished 24th and they didn't do too much to bolster their run game. Passing the ball is where I think we're gonna, where we need to make a stop, where we need to make stops. And anytime you have Drew Brees and you're going up against two, really good young wide receivers in Brandon Cooks and Willie Snead, and you also draft guys like Michael Thompson, you're gonna have to, lock out those guys. And if you ask me, last year we weren't equipped to handle any wide receivers. But with the addition of Carl Joseph, Sean Smith, Reggie Nelson, and the emergence of David Emerson, I think we're gonna be able to have a solid, not great, not good secondary. I think we're gonna have a solid secondary. It's also gonna depend on how our pass rushing is, and I think our pass rushing is gonna be big time. I mean, anytime you have Khalil Mack on one side and then Bruce Irvin on one side, you have Jahide Ward in the middle, guys like Shalik Calhoun, and hopefully Aldo Smith if he doesn't get suspended, with any more games. I mean, this team has the ability to, it's going to have the ability to, or the potential to attack the quarterback. at the end of the day, I don't see the New Orleans Saints stopping Derek Carr. Maybe stopping their run game. Like our run game is going to be determined on what Latavius Murray could do and nobody else. Just because I don't know, I don't see DeAndre Washington being a big time factor. Hopefully, I'm wrong. But if they can't stop Latavius Murray, then our run game is going to be big time. But if they do, then again, we're going to rely more on our offense or throwing the ball. And I think anytime you rely on someone like Derek Carr to throw the ball, I think he's going to get the job done. I don't want to I don't want to put out a final score, but I do think the Raiders are going to win. The Saints have an improved team, but I just don't think it's enough to stop like a team like the Raiders who are playoff bound. But let me know what you guys think. And again, this is 6 weeks out the regular season. I haven't seen these guys put it on the field yet. For all I know, Derek Carr could get injured, or one of the Raiders players could stink it up and mess it up for the team, or maybe the New Orleans Saints play big time in that game. But at the end of the day, this is my week 1 prediction. I'm just going by what I see, training camps and what I see on paper. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, guys, and have a good weekend.